All right. Okay. So, you guys, my name is Lauren Duke, and I am one of Stephanie Richardson's personally sponsored coaches. And it is really such an honor to be able to speak to you guys because you're the team that raised me. Honestly, I started as a coach 4 years ago, and Stephanie gave kind of a little bio about me. I was a repeat coach, meaning I started and then I quit, and I came back when I fully understood what this business was all about. And that kind of plays into what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. And I do have notes. So if I look back and forth, it's because I want to stick to this and stick to the time schedule because, like I said, I am a military spouse. And, well, did I say that? I'm a single mom right now because my husband's deployed for a year and I have 2 kids who are starving, and I'm not about to let them cook because there's an open flame. So, so I have to be mom and run this business. And that's part of the having a positive mindset and not letting anything kind of stand in your way in this business. So let's just get right down to it. When we talk about having a positive mindset, people go, well, that's, great and all. I do my personal development. I do exactly what I'm supposed to do. Sure, I have a positive mindset. Great. I love this business. I love being a coach. I love what Beachbody has done for me and my family, but it has to go further than that. And so I did a little bit of research, and I've done this call once before, and it really kind of just sprang out of me and really resonated with a lot of people. But I wanted to go a little bit further and deeper with this because I wanted to talk about the negative emotions and then positive emotions and what that does to us, because it's so much deeper than just saying, I'm having a bad day or have excuses. So I want to talk about what having a negative mindset means. Totally starting this call on a Debbie Downer, right? That's okay, because I'll bring it back up. I promise. So I wrote this down. So again, I'm going to read. When you have negative emotions and thoughts, they actually paralyze you. When something negative comes into your path, the reaction that we have is fear. That's just a natural human response, is fear when something negative comes to us. And I was reading this article, and it talked about, having like a big cat, like a tiger or a mountain lion come into your path. Your first reaction is stop, freeze, paralysis. You don't see any of the options for escape or the other avenues you could take. All you see is fear, paralysis, negative, negative, negative. And I really thought, wow, I've been there. I've done that. I've allowed kind of that tunnel vision to let me only see that negative, negative, negative. I can't see anything else positive, and I get so kind of down in my pit that all I can see is the negative. And so that's what this is talking about, is that negative mindset is something that maybe we have excuses. Maybe we have negative people in our life. Maybe we aren't surrounded by people who build us up. Maybe we have a story. Maybe we have perceptions, things that we don't want to share with people because we think people are going to judge us. Those are limiting behaviors, and that's what we're talking about. We want a positive mindset, but we want to get away from those limiting beliefs, those limiting behaviors. And Stephanie talked about how her son said, she's out of my league. Well, who told you that? When did you start to believe that about yourself? Because nobody told you that. So that had to come from somewhere. And it's the same thing with us. We have these things that are in our head. We can't do something. Why? Because someone else told us we couldn't, or because we decided we couldn't, because we have paralysis, we have negative thoughts, we're afraid. And so those are the things we want to talk about so that we can flush them. We want to get rid of them. So back to my notes, because I'm really notorious for going down rabbit trails. So those negative thoughts, those limiting behaviors, they consume you. That's all you can see. Those become your excuses. Ouch. You can't focus on your why anymore, your big goals and dreams, because all you can think and see are those limitations. I haven't hit Success Club, so I must not be able to. I, haven't recruited a coach, so golly, this is hard. I'm just going to stop and I'm going to give up. My challenge group flopped, so I can't do that. And it shouldn't be limited. I'm hearing that the call is limited at 50, and it shouldn't be at all. So I'm going to keep going and apologize because it should have been set up for the people I paid for, which is hundreds. So I want to make sure that I keep focused. Sorry, guys. I was talking about limiting behavior, your focus. Now I'm getting tons of messages. Sorry. You limit your view and your focus, and all you can see is the shut off space that you've created. So you can't see your why anymore. You can't see your goals. You can't see your dreams. So why do you think that we talk about when you have a vision board? Have sticky notes. If you lose focus quickly, make sure that you have it in your face wherever you go. I had someone tell me, write it on your mirror. You know, when you're getting ready in the morning, write it on your refrigerator, put it on a sticky note, something. Make sure that you are filling your head with those positive beliefs. No more limiting behavior here. No more limiting mindset here. Not with you guys, not anymore. You're only going to focus on the positive, and we're going to talk about the reaction that happens with a positive mindset. And when we get rid of those limitations that we perceive, that we put on ourselves, because I guarantee you that we are our worst critics. More times than not, we are the roadblock. Nobody else has told us we can't do anything. Maybe you have people who are constantly telling you that you're capable, that you're strong, that you are an amazing leader, XYZ, but you are the one who has to stop and believe it. That is the issue, because I was my own roadblock. I was the one keeping myself from moving forward. I had to put a limitation on myself that I couldn't go past this point. And I had to get real and get raw and share my dark, ugly story, the thing that I hadn't shared with anybody else outside of my family. But I really hadn't even had a conversation about my eating disorder with my family. You know, I had to get real and be like, I'm a fake. Man, I am such a fraud here. I have got to get over this, and I have got to share this with people, if for no other reason, because I need to remove that roadblock so that I can move forward. But this was the interesting thing that happened. And I hope that you guys see this, and I hope you experience this with your own, in your own journeys, in your own teams, with your story, is when you do that, you actually reach people on a much deeper level. You become relatable. Yeah. You become relevant, meaning more people can say, oh my gosh, I totally get where she's coming from or he's coming from. And you don't just throw out a few challenge packs and a few challenge group specials and all this stuff. You share the relationship and you share the story, and that's when you start to remove those roadblocks that you have put in front of yourself. So let's talk about those things that we say, I can't do. I can't invite. I can't be like so-and-so. Stop comparing yourself to other people. That's also a limiting behavior. If you are limiting yourself based on what somebody else has done, you're not allowing yourself to live up to your full potential. Golly, stop that. If anything, we're talking about tunnel vision and how you see the negative. Put those blinders on so that you can't see anything else that anybody else is doing, but so that you can see that why and see that dream and see those goals. And you can take those steps to put that plan into action in order to get to those places. That's when those blinders need to come on, so that you can start to see the positive things, so that you have no more limiting beliefs. That's unlimited potential is what we want to get to. All right. So again, with negative behavior, with limiting beliefs, you are paralyzed by fear. We want to be fearless. We want to be relentless. We want to be excited about what we're doing because we have this gift to give to somebody that we cannot stop sharing because we know the true potential in it. We shouldn't have any fear in that. We should have everything positive, everything exciting to share with people. We give them the opportunity. We share our stories and we let them decide. It's not up to us. We aren't the ones who are allowed to place the limitations there. It's unlimited potential. I told somebody that tonight. I was like, the thing is, yes, you pay $15.95 for this business, but you have unlimited potential for growth, for financial growth, for whatever it is that you want to do, whatever your why is. So don't let anything, don't let that $15.95, don't let that 90 PV, don't let whatever it is be your limitation for you to keep growing and going. Stop it. Okay, so now the positive. Did you know that when we have positive thoughts like joy, contentment, love, you see more possibility in your life? You can see possibilities. You can open your mind to more options, and it helps you build skills that you can use later. So think about when, we take the opportunity to go to a Super Saturday. That might have been something that was super scary. Like, I don't like big crowds. I can't do that. Get over it. Do it anyway. I mean, that's kind of the thing I want to say here is I don't want to, I can't do that, or this is hard. Yeah, great. So it is. And so you're just going to sit there and you're not going to live up to your potential because something's hard? Life is hard. You can't control that. You can't control what you do. So a Super Saturday event, that was super scary for me to go to. At the time, I was living in California. I drove to Santa Monica to the headquarters, which is pretty sweet, right? My Super Saturdays were at Beachbody headquarters. And so I drove there by myself. I knew nobody, not one person. And I sat in the back of the room with corporate. I didn't know who they were. Turns out it's corporate. I'm sitting back there like I know what I'm doing. No, I didn't know one single person. I stayed for a group picture, didn't know those people either. They all had their little teams and they were all meeting and having great times and meeting for lunch, and I had nobody. It didn't stop me. I got to hear amazing stories that I still share today. And I use those skills that I learned there to give me confidence to do more things. So it's those baby steps. And maybe you start with a Super Saturday, a market council event, something that you host in your home. And maybe it seems super, super scary for you to do. But that's just one step in the direction that you want to go. And those are skills that you can use later on, and they contribute to your story. So we want to get rid of that limiting behavior, those limiting behaviors that keep us from moving forward. So I'm going to share something with you. How many of you are military? I mean, you can raise your hand or not. Yay, awesome, hey, okay. So if you're a military spouse or if you're in the military, you don't get a choice. I have been a military spouse. My husband and I will be married 18 years this year. We've been in the military 16. And I thought it was so cool that my husband was going to be like a pilot. Because, I grew up in the Top Gun era. So that's all I see is like, sweet. Okay, he didn't fly a fighter jet at all. He flew like a big heavy tanker. Still cool. The flight suits look hot. Hello. And so I was excited about that, right? And so we go to this meeting and it's all like, oh, we're going to be in the military. We're going to be in the Air Force. And it's so cool. And then they screw up our training. And they send us to Fort Hood in the middle of Killeen, Texas. Biggest Army installation in the world. And it's a train wreck. It is a pit. And I'm not allowed to talk to anybody, I'm told, because my husband's an officer and they're enlisted and I'm pregnant. And so I sit in our apartment and watch Baby Story for literally 6 months and get fat. And what does this have to do with anything? Oh, I didn't have a choice. Like, it was non-negotiable, right? I could have pitched a fit. I could have, been like, wah. But it was just the beginning of 16 years of don't have a choice. You still have to show up daily. My husband leaves. He goes to training every day. I still have to get up and move. Let's fast forward a little bit. Husband goes through training, and guess what? He is going to be gone for 3 months, and he leaves in 3 days. And your vacation is blown out of the water, and you have non-refundable tickets. Your child is really sick and has to be driven to the ER probably 3 times a month. Do you think anybody else is going to do that for me? Like, the military didn't all of a sudden show up and like take my son to the ER. And yes, it's a community like we have with Beachbody to come and rally around us and sharpen us. But you don't have a choice. Like, that's just kind of the behavior that I want you guys to adopt is life is hard. And there are things that have to get done. My husband's gone for a year. He left in February. He'll be gone in February. I've bought a house, sold a house, moved my family. I've still gone on trips. I've still made it to Summit, still done things for my team. I hosted a retreat here 2 weeks after I moved. My kids are in multiple sports. We had a really bad spring with grades. You just make it happen. Bills, cars, things that go wrong, dogs needing to go to the vet, groceries. Those are just the day-to-day things, right? So I can use that example as like, nobody else is going to do this for me. I can sit there and say, I can't. But that's not an option. The same thing goes for, I want to lose some weight, or I want to grow my business, or I want to hit a certain income level, or I want to grow my team and do something amazing for my family. Nobody else is going to do that for you. And if there are things that are standing in your way that are keeping you from doing those things, then it's up to you to remove those limiting beliefs and those limiting behaviors, because nobody else can do that for you. And that's just the hard truth, because I have seen people lay in bed and cry about the fact that their spouse is deployed and just fall into this negative pit of despair. Doesn't help anybody. The family suffers, nothing gets done. And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be that way with life. I don't want to be that way with my business. Because trust me, there are days when I do not want to show up. Trust me. Today was a hard day. I was literally pressing play on my workout, and I got a text from my daughter that she forgot her medicine. She couldn't focus. She'd forgotten her homework. And I said, stop. Got in my car, took her medicine to school, figured it all out. Granted, we have to teach our kids to be responsible for themselves, but in this case, she needed me. And that is what's really cool about this business, is the freedom we have to do those things. Because I have to tell you, there is absolutely no way that I would have known 4 years ago that we would be at this point where he's deployed now it'll be almost 2.5 years of the last 4, and we've moved twice. Did I know that taking that step through that door 4 years ago and driving to Summit would result in the freedom that we have now? Absolutely not. But did I do what my coach told me to? And did I look at others? And was I sharpened by the people on our team? And did they show me what's possible with this business? And I wanted that so badly that I worked my butt off? Absolutely. And I can't say that it's because I did something exponentially greater than anybody else, because it's the same opportunity that every single person on this team has. I just wanted it more. I just wanted to be successful, and that looked very different as I grew. And so success isn't a rank, it isn't a dollar sign. It's you achieving the goals and dreams that you have. And I had to grow into that, because honestly, I didn't know what a dream was or a goal was, because back to the military, we were always issued everything. So I didn't have dreams. I wasn't allowed to have dreams, and I limited myself from having dreams and goals, because every time I wanted to do something, Chris came home with new orders and we had to move, or we deployed and we didn't get to do that thing I wanted to do. And so I became very good at stuffing everything down, and I stopped wanting things for myself. And that was a limiting behavior I had to get over and learn to push aside, because you absolutely are worth the dreams and goals you have. You absolutely can achieve and can attain those things. So you've got to believe that, first and foremost, that you show up daily, even when you don't want to, because those are the behaviors we have to do in order to grow. Like I said, I would rather just sit around and go to the beach and enjoy this beautiful place and go sit by the water because we get to live in a really cool place finally, and not the middle of the desert. Ugh. I would love to do that, but I cannot do that because I love this business so much, and I know the potential, and I've been blessed with people here who I love working with daily, and I know there are more people. I want to share this opportunity as much as I can. In fact, we're doing a sneak peek, and someone even said today, I've been thinking about this for a while, but I was waiting for God to open that door. Oh my goodness, 4 years later. So if you say there are people, you've maxed out, that's not true. If you say there aren't still people looking at this business opportunity, that's not true. If you're saying that we're oversaturated, that's not true. Absolutely not true. So that's another limiting behavior. Nobody wants to hear from me. There are too many Beachbody coaches. That's a bunch of hooey. There are not too many Beachbody coaches. And you have a story and you have a voice that is specific to the people who need to hear from you. Okay, so, okay, so I wanted to give you a couple things to help you have a positive mindset. Take breaks, run away, have fun, and enjoy the freedom that you have created with this business. And if you're not there yet, then work until you have it. Somebody asked me, and I see, Julie on here, and she was a top 10 coach as well. Somebody asked me once, they said, what does it take to get to top 10? And I was like, 80 hours a week. And it's true. And it's not something that I would say, hey, have fun, go do that. It became something that I was just working so hard towards, and it was in your grasp, and so you work your butt off to get there. But you don't have to work that hard as you're maintaining. You still have to work hard at everything you want to do and everything that you want to achieve. But here's the other thing. Take time to enjoy it. That's what we get to do with this business. And that's one of the things we get to share with people. So don't allow yourself to think that as you're starting up, all you have to do is work. No, you have to enjoy. You have to play. Play makes it fun. If you've ever listened to The Power of Vulnerability by Brene Brown, listen to it. If you haven't, listen to it. You can get it on Audible. You can only get it on Audible. And so as I'm mowing my grass, because yes, I mow my own yard, and people think I'm crazy, and then they want to do it for me. Anyway, oh, there goes my light. See, that means the call's almost over when things start to fall apart. She talked about the importance of play and how successful people take time to play. And I love that she used that word, because I think of kids out at the playground just having fun. And she did. She said, she and her daughter got caught dancing in the middle of this really high-end department store, and people were looking at her like she's crazy. But that was so fun, and she's teaching her kids to enjoy life. And so take time to play. And here is the other thing that we already are doing on this call. Take time to surround yourself with positive people. Take time to remove those who are those negative thorns, those cancers in your life, in your relationships, because you are going to be so much happier when you do. And so I want to maybe open it up for questions if you want to. I know there's 5 minutes left, and I want to stick to the 9 o'clock time limit, because I just feel like this is one of those things that it's really simple and kind of cut and dry. Limiting behavior is something that we can control. We are our own limitation. It's those things that we have adopted as truths that are not truths. We've allowed those things to seep into our brains, and we're listening to them, and we need to stop listening to them, because we know that we are capable. We know that we are strong. We know that we are enough. We know that we have gifts and talents to share with people. We know that. And if you need other people to tell you, that's what this community is all about. That's what this team is all about. That's why you joined this team, is because you were attracted to your upline coach, the field, the community, whatever. And so that's the most important thing for me, are the relationships and the bonds, because these people are going to see you grow and see you achieve things in your personal life. And they're going to cheer you on through diseases, through losses, through highs and lows, and through every season of this business and your life. And it's a family like you'll never know in any other business. And so it's important that you allow yourself to be that success, that you allow yourself to show up daily, and that you remove those limiting behaviors and those limiting thoughts and those limiting actions that you have. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't be your own worst nightmare. I really wish I had some killer ending for you guys, but honestly, it's just one of those things. I do have, I'm supposed to talk about time management. I do have some things to share with you, and I'm going to upload these PDFs. Right. So another limiting behavior. Hi, thank you. Another limiting behavior, and I heard this, Summer Tucker shared it in a group I'm in, and I loved it because she actually shared 2 schedules. She shared a schedule for people who work full-time and how they can grow this business even with a full-time position. And then others who could work full-time and just really don't need to. And that was me. I had the freedom where I could stay home and just work all the time. And so I'm gonna screen share you guys and show you these, but I'm also gonna give them to your team leaders so that they can share them. And then there's also a PDF to help you guys prioritize. And Here we go. Here's this worksheet. Okay, I want to make sure I have them all pulled up because I pulled them up earlier. And then I had to run away to soccer, and so I may not have the PDF. Okay, I have it all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just show you guys what I'm talking about, because this is also a limiting belief or a limiting behaviors. I don't have time. And everybody has time for the things they want to do, right? If I want to stop right now and go watch a movie, I can make time for that. But it's what you want to do. It's really it has to align with your goals. So if there's something that you want to do, you're going to do it. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. So you have to see the bigger picture. And you, again, look at the sticky notes, look at the dry eraser marker on your mirror. Where are you wanting to go with this? And I love having a schedule. And I write mine out. I was going to show you mine, but I don't want to flip all the pages. What I need to accomplish today, and I know my business hours, when I'm going to work, when I'm going to be off, what appointments I have, when I can block off time, and then I don't work when my kids are home, because I pick up my daughter at 1:45, and I haven't done anything since I got home. And then I took her to soccer, and I might be able to work after this. But that's what I was able to set up and what has to happen for my family. And everybody's going to be different in this area. So I'm just going to share with you guys a couple of different scenarios for you to look at. All right, so here's the first one. I'm sorry, it's kind of small, but like here's stay-at-home parents with little kids, okay? So she talks about getting up and starting at 5 a.m., just what you have to do. So if you're going to beat those kids and you're going to have quality time before anybody gets up, you're going to have to start early. So I like how this is broken down into 30-minute increments. So this is, if you're getting up at 4:30 perhaps, you're maybe having coffee together, you're waking up, and she's talking about when her husband was deployed. At 5:30, she's having her personal development. At 6, she's working out, 30-minute workout. At 6:30, she's doing her sweaty selfie and her challenge group. So she is definitely doing the daily behaviors. She's already had quiet time, personal development. She's done her workout, and all before 6:30 in the morning. 7 a.m. to 12, she's talking about her mom time, or it could be your full-time job. Just, there you go. I like that she says, I don't allow my kids out of bed until 7. I actually had a friend who put a sticky note and said, you're not allowed out of bed until this number is 7. And so he learned, I'm not allowed out of my bed, out of my room, until that number says 7, because she needed that time. And that's not selfish. That's teaching them good behavior about getting up on their own and managing time. And then it talks about, at noon, she's going to have lunch. She's going to sit down with her kids and have quality time. So you don't feel like you're missing out on your family. And then from 12:30 to 1:30, those are her kids having their quiet time. Maybe they're napping. Maybe they're watching a show or reading a book, whatever. Waking up, you're getting your shower in. You're taking care of yourself. And then at 2 o'clock, kids' attention. 4 o'clock, 30-minute power hour, final challenge group check, staying focused, final message, check to jump in and answer any vital prospect messages. So she's very, very regimented, very, very structured. Maybe you're not that structured and you need to be. But look, 4:30, cleaning up the house for daddy. She's also saying it's important that I have done my wife duties and my family duties as well as building this business. 5 o'clock, she's talking about what I just said. We were out the door to soccer. We had things to do, and then 7:15 is bedtime. And she's saying all nights during the week. This is it. This is Sunday through Thursday. Friday has always been their date time, and their Saturday has always been their family time. And then she even goes even further about her team webinars and her checking her back office and her post planning and all that stuff, and everything that can help you stay on track. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I like that she says, give them what they need and you'll get what you need. And then even goes into feeling overwhelmed. You can get a planner. You can help yourself here. I set alarms on my phone. I make sure, to stay on track with certain things. And am I perfect? Heck no, because life happens. Like I said, today totally got off track because my daughter needed me. And that's just part of life. You can't control those things. Okay, so the other example I have is working coach example. And this is if you have a full-time job. It looks very similar up until the 8 a.m. to 12:30, working your full-time job. She says on your lunch break, that's when you can do your check-ins. You know, maybe your lunch break has been something different and you felt like you were way far away from your business whole day because you didn't have that midday check-in. So at 12:30 to 1:30, go ahead and check in with your challenge groups. Maybe do a power hour. Take a lunch break. Take a break from the office part. I like that she says, go get in your car or sneak away to work towards your vision instead of going out or working through lunch. Go ahead and dream a little bit. Have some personal development. Listening in your car. I play my PD through my car so that when I'm driving, I'm listening to an audiobook. That's really refreshing. I love it. I love being able to just travel around and still having personal development. And this is what she said, after work, before you drive home, do it in your car. This is where Chad built his real estate business before he got out of the military. Before he left the parking lot, he dug into 30-minute power hour, half hour. It's just what you need to do. And this is simply a guideline. And a lot of people need a map. They need someone to give them that roadmap to help them out. 7:15 again, bedtime. This is the nights during the week, the Sunday through Thursday, because kids are out of school. Friday, Saturday, or they can sleep in on Saturday and Sunday. So she's saying strict bedtimes and all that stuff. And then again, 2 nights a week, you're doing your webinars. So it only looks different really during the day. And for stay-at-home parents or for working families. She takes it one step further, talks about, after 10 p.m., other nights when the kids are in bed, you can have time with your spouse, you can have date nights, all those things. So like I said, I know I'm breezing through this, but I really want to give you this content and have you guys be able to look through it. So I just wanted to show you, if you really want to stay on track and if you really want to build this business, you absolutely can. And you can break it into 30-minute increments and be that strict. You can. So again, it's another limiting behavior. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is this goal chart. So this is something I'm also going to give you guys. This is not, I want it to fit. Okay. Are you guys still there? Oh yeah, you are. I want to zoom out. That's what I want to do. Okay, so this is, I want you guys to write down your priorities, because the time you spend on everything has to match up with your priorities. If your priorities are family and you're not spending any time with them, then something's off. If your priorities are for you guys to take a vacation, for you to be debt-free, for you to replace an income, then guess what? Your actions need to match up with those priorities. So it's broken down into 5 priorities, and then there are 5 blue sections with 3 actions to go with each priority. So I want you to take this. And so if your first one is family, I want you to break the first category up into, what actions do I need to adopt right now in order to make my number 1 a priority? Do I need to schedule date nights with my kids? Do I need to put my phone down when we're at soccer practices? Do I need to be more engaged? All that stuff. So I want you guys, and again, I'm going to share this with you, and then really think about what you need to do. Reverse engineer. What are the behaviors I need to do in order to achieve those priorities? And then on the far right, your 12-month goals. What you find is when you have clear priorities and you have action steps in order to achieve them, you're going to and you have certain goals in your life, you're going to blow past them, because you're going to already be doing the behaviors in order to achieve those goals. You're going to start to gain momentum. You're going to get better at those behaviors, and you're going to achieve those 12-month goals in 12 months or less. And that's what I've been able to see on my team with my coaches, when they are really, really, really engaged with their daily behaviors, and they're super consistent in invitations and showing up even on the days they don't want to. That eventually that snowball effect happens, and they come and they're just like, that's crazy. All of a sudden I was able to reach, the 6 people I've been talking to, they all signed up as coaches. Boom. That felt amazing. That daily consistency was the thing that really pushed me over the edge. So these are the kind of things that I want to help you with, and I know that it's important to see so that you can Get rid of those limiting behaviors, those limiting beliefs. Because if you say, I don't have time, but you're not doing anything to adjust the time you're giving to your business, then you're not really moving forward. You're just wallowing in that negative. You only have tunnel vision on the negative. And maybe it becomes fear and you have paralysis that you start to believe, oh my gosh, well, maybe I can't do this business. Oh gosh, well, maybe I can't move forward because I haven't for so long. So you've got to start thinking the positive things. And you've got to start focusing on the positive actions in order to get to those goals. So stuff like those reverse engineering, writing out your priorities, thinking about the actual action steps in order to get there. Those are the things that have to happen. And maybe you have to turn into a little bit of a nerd and have a notebook that you work from, like me, with tabs. Look at tabs. And this is how I work. I'm old school. I have notebooks all over my house. And when we moved, I found bins of them going back from where I started. Contact lists, dreams, goals, all written down. And it's really cool to see how that's changed over the years. So it's now 9:09. I'm going to share those two lists with you guys, those time breakdowns, as well as the priorities, time management PDF with the leaders. And I'm sorry that more people couldn't get on the call. My assistant set it up, and I'm not blaming her because I should have checked it. It's my fault. But I should have been able to have quite a few people on here. But I hope you guys know that, like I said, all of us are the same. And I don't say that and like sugarcoat it. We're all the same. We pay the same $15.95. We have the same opportunity as everybody else. It's just what you do with it. And I really feel like when you just focus and you just show up daily, even on the days when you do not want to, and when you have no idea what you're going to post, and you have no idea what you're going to share, that's when personal development comes in. Because when you don't know, and you've lost focus, and you've lost sight of your goals and your dreams, when you get back to personal development and you remember why you're doing this, all of a sudden the floodgates open. And that's that positive you're pumping yourself full of so that you can go out and share with other people. And that's such a shift for me every day, because trust me, there are days I don't want to do jack squat. And where I'd rather just sit and cry in my room because I'm very lonely. But who's that going to help? Not going to help my kids, not going to help me, not going to help anybody else. And so I would rather help other people than focus on, what the heck it is I want to do. Somebody raise their hand. What does that mean? I can't even find that now. So I'm going to stop recording. And if you guys have any questions, I'll stick around for about 4 minutes, and then I have to go make tacos at 9:15 at night. So